Hi, hello, welcome back. This is now issue 82 of Build Your Own Star Wars R2D2. So, yeah, been looking forward to receiving the next 4 issues this month because we've got some electrics to play with later on. I think it's 84 for the arms. So, yeah, really looking forward to that. But for now, let's crack on with issue 82. Let's go down and we'll see what's what. So here we go. This issue looks absolutely crammed full of stuff. So, without further ado, let's just crack on, open the bag and see what we get. It's literally crammed. So this is yeah, it's like almost like two issues in one. It's what it feels like. There's so many parts. You know, you've got all these loose parts plus this tray of bits, and we've got lots of screws. So another screw delivery. So let's just go through these parts. So first of all, we've got the right tool compartment door, which is this white piece here. And then in this little bag here, we've got the right tool compartment. There's a little bit of detail in there. Okay, so they'll be, I assume they're going to be paired. Next we've got the centre compartment door, which is this piece here. And then again we've got the centre tool compartment, which is this nice shiny piece here, and so it's got quite a lot of detail on there. And there we go. Okie doke. We've also got the front housing, which is in this bag here. If I can get it out of the bag, there we go. So that is the front housing. Okay, we get the acoustic signal grill, which is this piece here, and it's got 3 slats across there. Okay, and then you've got the system ventilation grill, which is this one here, and you'll notice this has got 4 slats on it, so they are different. Okay. We also get a sensor housing, which is this part here. So absolutely crammed. We get the ultrasonic transmitter and a receiver. Now I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so they've got letters on them. I was going to say they look identical, so you know, I'm not sure which one's the transmitter and the receiver, but if you look on the back, This one says R, so I assume that means receiver. And then, yeah, this one's got a T written on the top there. You might not be able to see that, but there's a T just up there. So obviously that would be for transmitter. And then you get these three small bits in here. So we've got this part here, and that is a hinge. Well, these are all hinges, but that's slightly different. And then these two hinges, and they've got holes in, and there we go. They look like that, and they've got holes underneath there. Okay, so that is all the parts, and then obviously we've got lots of screws. Pretty much every screw we've had up to date, all mixed in these bags. So without further ado, let's crack on with the build. So I'm going to open this little bag here first. I'm going to grab my screw pot. So I think we're going to need these screws in here. Oh, and I've just dropped the pot. And dropped a screw. So give me so I'm back. Drama over. Yeah, I just dropped the, as you saw, I dropped the screws, and one of them bounced onto the magazines down there, and it took me a few minutes to find it because the screw had landed on a black part of the magazine, so blended in. But no, all's good, and I've got everything now I need. So in that pack we've got these fixing screws here, 15mm. Okay, and then we had 3 of these 6mm screws, black, and then we also got in this pack these 2 fixing screws. They look like machine screws, flanged machine screws, and there's 2 of those. So I'm not sure if we need all of those at the moment, but we certainly need 2. I'm just going to measure to see. Okay, no. So those 3 screws in here, they're 9mm ones. Okay, so we are wanting 2 15. We're wanting a 15mm screw, okay, which is the really long black one. It does get confusing, all these screws. Yeah, so we need one of those, and then we also need a 6mm screw, which looks like one of these standard ones. Yeah, so I'm going to open these up. And then I'm going to put these in the large side of my screw cut. And I'm just going to double check the measurement of those screws. Yeah, 6. Okay, so we need one of those, and obviously the 15mm for this part. Okay, we're going to need this part here, which is the right tool compartment, and we're going to want the right tool compartment door, and we also want this hinge here that looks like this. So first thing it wants us to do is holding the door, we're going to pop this hinge in between there like that, and then we're going to put the 15mm screw through the top, like so, and push that through. Now there's no thread in these two parts. The top part and this silver hinge, there's no thread, so the thread starts at the bottom. So just keep trying to get that screwed down so it fits through, and then we're going to secure that into place. And then try and hold that as securely as possible, because there is quite a lot of flex in that hinge. Lovely. And then we should have that, and then that moves freely. So don't do it up too tight, because obviously you want the hinge to move. Once that's done, we're then going to take the actual right tool compartment, and the best thing to do is angle this upwards like that, because that post is going to fit into the hole just at the bottom there. Like so. And then you'll be able to just see it through the bottom there. Okay, once we've done that, we're just going to take one of the 6mm black screws and secure that in from underneath. Okay, and then don't do that too tight, because we're working with plastic parts. That seems okay. And then it sort of clips, see, it doesn't actually shut on its own, and then that doesn't quite sit as flush as I would hope. But we've had a lot of issues with the doors, haven't we? So it's a little bit better. So once that's together, we'll see what it's like when we've actually put it in. I mean, I'm not sure what we can do about that, but we'll see how it looks, and then we can sort it out later if need be. Okay, so that was steps 1 through to 9 for that. Next we're going to be working on the larger tool compartment, the centre compartment. So for this we need 2 of the 9mm screws from that packet, going to also want 2 of the 6mm fixing screws. And we're also going to need the 2 silver hinges. And obviously we're going to need the door as well. So I'm just going to put these parts out of the way for the moment. Okie doke. So step 1, take parts BP 35 and 36, so that's these 2 parts here, plus 2 of the 9mm screws and 2 6mm self-tapping screws. So we've got all the gear here. And I'm on the hinges with a matching hole in the bracket on the back of the door. So they're holding it this way, so these the actual hinges are on your left, and there's a hole in either side. You've obviously got a hole in that side and one on this edge. So we're going to line the hinges up outwards. Let me just move this to the light. Yeah, so line the hinges up so they sort of face outwards. And then we're going to put 2 of the longer 9mm screws through. So I'm going to put the screw through the hinge first, just to make things a little bit easier, and then just secure that in. And then while you're doing this, just be really careful and have a grip. Because these hinge parts are only plastic, and I can feel that flexing quite a lot. So just try and put reasonable force on that while you're screwing, so not to snap that off. And then these should be free moving. The screw is as tight as it wants to go. I've got a little bit of a wobble there, but I don't want to force that anymore. That's where it wants to stop. Okay, so we're going to repeat that on the other side, and obviously do the other hinge in the same manner. So again, I'm going to put the 9mm screw through the hinge, and then screw it into the other hole the other side. And again, just be really gentle, because I can feel the whole hinge. Can you see it? It's just flexing every time you want to screw. So just take your time. And then screw that through. And that's good for me. That's where it wants to stop. I should just double check the other side. Yeah. Okay. That's the hinges. This one isn't as loose. There you go. And then we should have something that looks like that. Okay, so the next step we're going to do is, we're going to fit the hinge to fit the hinges to this other panel here. So I see. That's quite a tight fit, but you've got 2 squares that these fit into. You've got one just here and the other one just on the ends, and all you're going to do is push that down into those holes and do quite a firm push in there, and you'll know when it's in because it stays in. And then what we're going to do is with the two 6mm screws, we're going to put the screws in either hole there to secure them into place. So that is one in. And then the same for the other side. Lovely. And there we have it. That sort of snap shut, which is nice actually. Obviously ignore this paint here. You know, it's missprayed. Well, it's not missprayed, but you're not going to see that. That's obviously where they've made it in the factory. So all you're concerned about is any paint defects inside, but mine's all good. The outside is a bit wish-washy, but you, as I say, you're not going to see any of the outside parts, so I'm really happy with that. So that's the two doors. So we need 4 of the 6mm screws for the next part. And we're obviously going to need this, the front panel that we worked on previously with the buttons on there, and we're going to be fitting the doors into this panel. So this is the centre panel, the larger of the tall compartment. And that is going to fit obviously in the larger hole. It's not going to go in anywhere else. Okay, and the 2 screws we put in previously, they've nicely cut them out for us, cut this out so they fit in there nicely. And then we're going to secure this into place with 2 of the 6mm screws in those 2 middle holes there. So I'm just going to get my screw ready, and there we have. Just screw that into place. So that is 1. And 2. I'm going to check the opening of that, and there we have it. And I'm happy with the fit of that one. Okay, then we're going to do the same again with the smaller compartment, and that is going to go in the smaller of this the smaller compartment, the last one here. Again, same way, pop that in. Okay, and then we're going to screw that in with those 2 screw holes there. So that is 1 in. And 2. Lovely. And then there we have that compartment there. It's not too bad actually. It's not sticking up as much as I thought, so I'm going to leave that. I'm happy with that. But yeah, there we have some opening doors. Brilliant. I really like the way this is. The frame's coming together now. Okay, next we're going to be installing the sensors. So for this we're going to need BP 44, 45, 46 and 47. And so we're going to need obviously the sensor holder part there. We're going to need the blue part, the 2 silver grills. We're obviously going to need the 2 sensors, so basically the rest of the parts, and then we're going to need four 6mm tapping screws, self-tapping screws. So we're going to need 4 of these 6mm screws again. We're also going to need 5 2x6mm flanged screws, and these are in this bag here. So I'm going to just open this bag up. I will double check them, but we get 6 in here. So 1 being a spare. And I'm going to put these screws into the pot, and I'll be really careful, guys, because in this pack there's some absolute miniature screws there, and you only get 2 of them. And I think I know what they're for, and you're going to need 2. So be really careful, you don't want to lose one of those. Okay, so what we're going to be doing, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to take this part, and you've got a larger piece up here with a, well, I don't know what that is, just like a piece of plastic. It's like maybe it's some sort of locating pin, and it's wider at the top. You want that facing upwards, and then these screw holes are slanting downwards. Okay, and then we're going to put the three grills on the bottom, like so. Okay, and then we want to use, that's interesting. Right, no, that's fine. I was getting confused with the flange screws. Okay, I just want to double check, as I said, that these are the right flange screws. Yes, they are. So we've got these 6mm flange screws. Now with tiny heads on, and then all we're going to do is secure that grill into place from the other side with those 2 flange screws. So that's 1, and then the second one, and that fits in there nicely. And then we're going to do exactly the same for the other side. Now I forgot to mention, these do only go in one way. Obviously make sure you read the manual and get the correct part in the correct hole, because they will fit in either one. However, they'll only fit one way round, because as you can see, that will not fit in there like that. The posts are angled, so that will sort of slot down into it, which is a nice idea. Okay, so you want this piece on the top with the 4 slats there. And then again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to secure it with 2 of the flanged self-tapping screws. Like so. So that's 1. Lovely, and that's 2. And then that is that part complete. Okay, the next step is to take the sensor marked T. Okie doke, so that would mean, yeah, that's the transmitter. So that's this one here, and then it says we need to unravel the cable, and I am going to keep this. I keep these because in one of the earlier issues it asked us to grab one that we used previously, so ever since I've kept these just in case we need them later on for any cable management or anything inside the body. So it's just worth keeping and putting to one side. So we're going to take this piece here, okay, so you've got this piece on the top here, this like pointy bit, that is the top as the picture shows. So the transmitter marked T is going to go into this hole, the top hole with this here. Okay, and what it wants us to do is push the cable through from the front, and then slot that into that hole like so. Okay, and then it says repeat the steps 9 and 10 to fit the sensor marked R into the second hole. So again, I'm going to undo the cable tidy there. Again, I'm going to keep that until later on, and then we're going to thread the cable connector through the hole, and then just push that snug into place. I'm just going to push that back out a minute, because you want to try and get the cable so that they don't get too caught. I'm going to push that in like so. So I'm happy with that now. So we've got the transmitter at the top and the receiver is going to be at the bottom as you look at it, this pointy bit. So T at the top, just think T for top, R for bottom. Okay. The next thing I want us to do is align the centre assembly with the assembly from step 7. So that is this part here. Now, if you look on the top, you've got 2 protruding pins just at the very top. That is going to be the top, and that is the same place where this pointy bit is going to go. Okay, so that's going to line up in there like so. This is actually, this will only fit one way, because it won't fit because of the 2 pins, and that is a locating pin at the bottom that will locate into this slit into this unit here. So as you put that on, that lines up nicely, that lines up nicely, and then the screw hole peg goes through nicely as well. So that is that part done. And then what we need to do with that, secure it with a 6mm flanged screw, which is the last one we had, through the middle there. Okay, and then there's an article about testing the ultrasonic sensor. You're now ready to test the ultrasonic sensor. You will need the battery box provided with issue 4. So, let me just grab some bits. I think that's actually on the other page. So I've done up to step 15, okay, and then it goes on to say testing the ultrasonic sensor, but I actually think we need to forget that for the minute, move on to stage 16, down to stage 21, then come back to test this, because the way they're showing it, it's already all installed into the front of his panel. So what I'm going to do is leave that part for now, move on to the next page, finish the securing this all together, and then we'll move back to the other page and finally test the sensor. Okay, so next thing it wants us to do then is take this unit, again with the pointy bit at the top, put the wires through the front of his body. There we go. And that's going to sit in there nicely like so. And then we're going to go over to the other side, and then there's 4 holes in each corner. 1, that one just down there, 2, 3 and 4 just there, and we're going to use the 6mm screws, normal regular screws, to secure that into place. Two, 3, 4. Just going to check that's all tight. Yep, I'm happy with that. Yeah, it's looking really good now, isn't it? Okay, so once that's all completed, that does complete it. Now I'm going to go back a page and then we'll look at testing the sensors to make sure they are operational. So for this we're going to need the battery box. And you'll notice that the test board I've actually hot glued to this unit, just to keep it together, because this test unit, we won't be using any of this in the final build. So yeah, so we're going to need the main circuit board, which is what we used before when we were testing the other sensors. And then we're also going to need the sensor control board, which is obviously that one, sorry, and then the sensor test board, which was provided in issue 53. So instead of this test unit up here, going to take that off. We're going to be using this test board, which we got in issue 53. So we're going to plug this board into the battery pack. We're going to need all those wires again. the two lengths of wire we had. So we're going to wire all this in. So we want the brown, red, orange and yellow cable into this end socket here, third one across of the larger one. And then this orange, yellow, green and blue cable will go next to it. And these do go in one way because each end is slightly different. Okay, and then on this board here you want the brown, red, orange and yellow wire into this one on the left if all the row of sockets are all on the top, and then the last remaining one will go on the opposite side in this plug here. Okay, so once all that's set up, I'm just having a look. Okay, it's these two sockets up here. Now it's very difficult to tell, but this plug here is labelled TX, and that is written down the middle of those two sockets. You might just see that. It says TX. So that's that one, and then this one is labelled RX. So we're going to label these in, we're going to plug these into their respective holes. Now obviously the letters are hidden now, but just remember the top one, T for top, and then the bottom one is R. So the top connector will go into the left hand plug, and then the remaining connector will go into the plug next to it, like so. Okay, so then it wants us to stand the panel upright, turn the power on, and it's difficult to see. We're looking at this control board here. We've got the red for the power, right, the light should stay off, but when you bring something closer, I don't know if you saw that, let me just move this around. Okay, so if you pay attention to the circuit boards just here, I'm going to bring my binder in. When my binder obstructs the sensor, that orange light illuminates. When I remove the binder, it goes off. So as something comes in, like so. So I'm happy that that is working correctly. Well, that was a very hectic issue, lots to do. Yeah, I'm really impressed with that. The sensors work, which is brilliant news. So there's nothing to worry about there. I'm really happy, and yeah, it's come out looking brilliant. So we've got all the detail put on the front. So what's left is obviously just to do those arms along the top, which are coming in a later issue. So yeah, brilliant stuff. Thank you for watching. As normal, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much. And if you wish to buy me a coffee, there is a link in the description below. Apart from that, have a great bank holiday Monday, and yeah, see you next week. Bye.